So these the men in the final of the men's lightweight single sculls.
Attention.
Well, we've got some very classy scullers here in this final. A lot of them have come out of the double sculls from Athens last year, most notably from Greece, Polymeros, who's a terrific sculler, and he was in the double in Greece, here gone out on his own. Also Tim Eichmann, new on the block here. He's a silver medalist at the Under-23 World Championships in the double scull, and he was 7th in Lucerne in the World Cup. Zach Purchase, he's a single sculler, pure and finely bred. He's only 19 years old and he's a great hope for the future. He was the gold medalist in the Under-23 sculls last year in Amsterdam. Great sculler, great potential.
And whoever wins this, Dan, joins a pretty significant roll of honour. If we go back in the early 90s, there was the hat-trick of Peter Heining in the early 90s, 92, 93, 94, and then Carsten Nielsen of Denmark. He also won it 3 times. Stefano Basilini, who's now in the lightweight double scull. Sam Lynch, all great lightweight scullers in their time.
Well, it's a great event. It's been very well attended. It's the biggest entry of the regatta here. And you had Asian nations coming from there. Well, Malaysia, there was the Philippines, Singapore, Hong Kong. We had Thailand and Japan here, and Palestine. I mean, we've had a fantastic, India's in it. We've had a fantastic spread of athletes coming in here, and that really is a big success for FISA's policy of universality, which is bringing other countries into the Olympic Games and into rowing. And yeah, this is the final group of 6 who are really very classy scullers, and it's Greece out in front, who's moving very sweetly indeed.
Yeah, Zach Purchase on the other side, and 3 from the bottom of your picture. That's the Swiss sculler Tim Eichmann. Not quite sure what's happened to Gerard van der Linden. That's a very sluggish start.
Well, he must have done something. Must have happened to him. We didn't see him off the start there, but something would have certainly gone wrong there, because he wouldn't have just slipped that far off the field from a sluggish start. It would have something went wrong. But certainly it's Vasileiros who's out in front, and he's a very solid man, isn't he? You just look at him, he's a very solid man. He's rather slow around the turn at the finish. He just takes those strokes, very powerful in the middle of the stroke. But he's just looking out across the field, checking out on Zach Purchase there, up in lane 1, who's moving very nicely indeed up there.
It was a wonderful moment for Vasileiros, partnered up with Nikolaos Skiathidis. That crowd really rose to them in Athens when they brought that bronze medal home, because really that was something of a surprise. They thought they might get in the final if everything went their way. I don't think anybody dreamed that they were actually going to come home with a bronze.
It was a very emotional moment. It was very exciting. But Zach Purchase holding on to that second place there, but being put under rather pressure from Tim Eichmann of Switzerland there between the 2 of them.
Another man who's made a slow start here is the German Ingo Euler, very experienced sculler.
Yes, they didn't make the finals in Athens. Ingo Euler, this is his 13th international, and I think he's retiring at the end of this year, so this is his swan song. Good to make the final. He's here on his own, not with his doubles partner, but he is slipping off the back of the field here.
And Greece it is from on the far side, Great Britain, and then Switzerland. I must say, Tim Eichmann, well, this is consistent sculling now, and if we were surprised, we shouldn't be surprised now, because he's being consistent in the form that he's reproducing.
Yes, indeed. I mean, he was 7th in the Lucerne World Cup, but he's certainly stepped up a mark here, and as they go through the halfway point, he's very much in contention for silver medal.
Well, it's that confidence and belief that you talked about earlier, Dan, that you get a bit of a result and it helps you bring yourself forward, and you believe you can go that extra step.
As Zach Purchase was saying even before this final, that this is all exceeding all my expectations. He said, you won a gold medal in the Under-23 Championships, then to be sent here as the senior sculler, it's a very exciting year for him, and he's still kind of open-eyed about it all. So it'll be interesting to see whether he can hold his position here, whether he has the courage, and certainly hasn't got the experience, but the courage just to keep there in that battle for second place.
By the way, apologies about the pictures. It isn't the bumpy water, it's the vibration of the camera there. Vasileiros certainly rock steady in the lead and pulling out the advantage all the time. You see Eichmann, there's the sculls of Fabrice Moreau, 27 years of age, coached by Olivier Pons, and he was 5th last year in the lightweight single sculls.
He was third in the double scull in 2001. But he's a very experienced sculler, and and they scull very well. Technically, the French are very well drilled. They move very well together. We saw that with the lightweight 4 earlier on. Very nice moving, very, very sweet boat moving. But look at Vasilios, just moving right away from the field. He's just sculling right away from everybody, and he's so solid. He reminds me a little bit of Peter Haining, because Peter Haining was always a very solid, very strong guy, relied a lot on weight training, and you can see that Vasilios does spend a lot of time at the gym. He's a very solidly built athlete.
And I was going to say, it's rather unusual in the lightweight men's single sculls, where of course everybody weighs about the same and conditions are very level, to see this margin. This is a huge margin.
It is. I wonder whether the rest can close it down in the last 500 metres, but he's got no fear now. He's well out in front. But Zach Purchase, 19-year-old Zach Purchase, has got himself back there into second position. Can he hold that off against Tim Eichmann for Switzerland? But that's a nice shot there of Vasilios. He's really moving so nicely there. Beautifully connected, picking it up well, moving it very, very hard through the middle of the stroke. No wasted effort.
What would it mean for Zach to get this silver medal if that's what he's going to get? He's vying at the moment with Tim Eichmann, as you said.
Well, enormous, because at 19 years old, he wants to break into the top squad. That means the double scull. All of these guys will be looking to get into the double scull for the Olympics, for Beijing, because that's the only Olympic event for male scullers. So all of these guys will be looking to establish themselves. And for Zach Purchase at 19 to be doing this now, he's got to be, over the next winter, he's going to have to be looked at for a double, and the double will be built around him, I think.
Well, what about this man? I mean,
well, he's going to want to pick up a partner. He's going to want probably to pick up his partner from Athens, but maybe he's retired and he's going to have to try and find somebody new to work with. But he's looking very confident here.
Fantastic follow-up, isn't it? To get the bronze medal, which was terrific, and then to come a year later and win, completely demolish the field, and he'll be going home as a world champion.
Absolutely, but a lot of the scullers in this field here are double scullers. So yes, he's got the strength, he's got the experience, and he's looking very good.
And he's calmly going across the line. Zach Purchase is going to make that silver medal. There he is on the top of the screen, and coming in very fast for third was Fabrice Moreau to actually deny Tim Eichmann of the bronze medal. That might hurt the Swiss a little bit, but Fabrice Moreau, as you said earlier, very experienced, and that last burst there giving him, as you can see, the bronze. But no doubt about the winner, Vasilios Polymeros is the world champion. Anita de France, Vice President of the International Rowing Federation, doing the honours.